I am developing a character here of Wen-ke Bing, and instead of writing novel about Wen-ke Bing or his family, the other character I developed, HB, his father, and the characters of his mother and wife, all of them painters. Instead of writing novels about them or a novel about them, I'm painting the Big Apple, the city I love, through their eyes. Wen-ke Bing grew up as an only single child of Chinese immigrants in Houston. His father was 30 years older than his mom and used to be her PhD guide at Kunming, Yunnan. He married Wen-ke's mother after divorcing his first wife. Their family had moved to Houston, where his father took up scientist position and his mother took up a technician's position at Rice University. Wen-ke was only 6 years old when the family moved to Houston, and he was initially buried a lot. Wen-ke eventually took to hiking, coding, doing a lot of solo stuff or with one or two friends to escape groups. Wen-ke sort of dated a Hispanic girl in grade ninth until she found a man with more hair on his face than on her face or Wen-ke's face, and she dumped Wen-ke. The next girl he really dated was this Indian analyst who he met after his failed postdoc when he started his job at MasterCard in New York City. He married her and was starting to regret it, as she was worse than Mike, his neurophysiology PhD boss at Baylor, with whom he had studied cerebellar plasticity, neuroplasticity, and worse than Peter, his computational neuroscience postdoc mentor at NYU. He wanted to kill both his ex bosses for all the right reasons. Um, and the only two decisions Wen-ke was sure of was to run as far away from academia as possible, and second was to paint New York City, which used to give him immense peace. He had studied undergrad, done postdoc, and was now working in Big Apple. He wanted to combine all his experiences and join a startup as a co founder with his friend, uh, and make a team in making better and cheaper electrophysiological rigs and programs for analyzing neurophysiology data. They were also thinking of creating algorithms, apps for predicting neurophysiological diseases too. But permission from Wen-ke's wife was impossible. It was more likely that the late chairman Mao would come and sing, "This land is your land, this land is my land," from California to New York Island. Or Chairman Meow, their cat, named so by his wife to piss Wen-ke's family, starts to sing and write his incomplete manuscripts than to get Shrishta, his wife, to say yes to anything Wen-ke wanted. The only thing she agreed to was letting Wen-ke paint because she also loved to paint. He was trapped and he knew the marriage would not work. But it wasn't over yet. The explosion moment had not happened yet. He called two places home, Houston and New York City, but preferred New York City. He was in his late 30s, but when people gave up on their dreams, painting New York, diversity, sunlight, especially in Central Park, painting New York City in summers, not just in other seasons, gave him a hope of a second innings. Maybe he'll not screw up this time as he did in choosing his masochistic pursuit of PhD and postdoc, or marrying a female reincarnation of Joseph Stalin from Hyderabad. He often painted New York City empty, as if the city is a virgin territory, inviting him to conquer her. Unlike Wen-ke's childhood and teens, where video games dominated his life, now was a different set of things. It was painting, coding, and somehow finding a way of getting out of a high paying job but also not getting into the trap that he got in PhD and postdoc. A real big storm was brewing. Who knows what was about to come? Here's New York City through Wen-ke Bing's eyes.